Guys, me say the devil is a liar, but Jesus said we are more than conquerors through him. I sat here around 20 odd minutes speaking to you guys, all coming up with scriptures, and I just felt like it was just a good talk. It was one of those things that you would see a YouTuber go through on YouTube, and them say, oh, the footage delete or this happened. I'm starting to learn that these things can happen, and when they do, is how you deal with it. You could have just go about your everyday life again and not bother do the video, or you can come back and just hope things go all planned. I recorded with this thinking that the audio would be much better with my earphone, but the earphone I mean not play out, like, anyways, that's one of them things, as I said. So let me start off by saying welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, I am Sasha, hence Meet Sasha D. As some of you might know, I have a first channel where I do baking videos, but because I just want my niche pertaining to baking to just be on that channel, I said let me create a second channel to talk more things, topic related videos, sit down type of videos where I come on here and share stuff that I've encountered throughout my life that you can relate to or you can add to, hence we can have a little small community going, or a big community depending on who drop in, come in, watch the video and can relate and can share their 2 cents, and just comment down below. So yeah, that's why I decided to do the second video. If you want more as to why I started my channel and you want to know a little bit more about me, please go and check my first video. I'm gonna probably put the link, the place card, somewhere above the screen on my right hand side or my left hand side, so you can click on that and you can watch this first and head on over to the first one if you want to know more about your girl. Anyways guys, so by the title you know what I'll be talking about. Today I'm going to be talking about why I quit my job in 2. Well, I think I would write 1 to get you guys attention, but I think I should not be lying, so I'm gonna say I think it's around 2 to 3 days, or 1 to 2 days, or 1.5 day, but I know it isn't like 4 or 5 days. It was very short, and yeah, I'm going to go into further details before I just give you the summarization. I think that's cool. That's cool. So grab your popcorn, grab your juice, grab whatever you use as comfort food, and hear what happened. So as you might pick up if you're not from Jamaica, I am Jamaican, born and raised. You girl Jamaican, what go on, what it do, big up. So yeah, this job took place here in Jamaica, and you have sites where you can look for jobs. You have Facebook groups, all different social media groups where you can see different job listings, job fairs. Usually now and again I would see job fairs, whether from the government did a job fair in 2019 or 2020, the earlier part of 2020, before this whole virus thing, then it all got cancelled. So you will see those things. This took place in 2019, where I went to this job fair here. I won't list the name of the company because I signed some agreement to be careful of what I speak about the company, so bear with me. I'm just gonna say company here, or just say company, So I went to this job fair for this company, and at the time 2019 was my season where I was going through some very bad panic attacks. And if you hear knocking around the back, I think my mom's doing something like cutting up food. I'm not sure what she's doing, but she knocks up. So in 2019 I was experiencing some bad panic attacks. If you are not familiar, I battled in the past badly with panic attacks, anxiety, you know, and you want to know more about my testimony and a little bit about background or backstory of my panic attacks, you can of anxiety. It's when it comes down to this topic, like I don't want to label myself like I'm trying to label. I don't want to take on certain things on me, because as the Bible said, life and death is in the power of the tongue. I'm at the point in my life where the anxiety, the panic attack isn't there, and anxiety here and there, but it's not like back then, so I don't want to say, oh, I still suffer with this thing as bad as I did last year or the year before, but if you want a little backstory, go on my main channel. I'll probably put the place card above here where you can watch that video and get a little backstory of how God saved me, because as in Ephesians, as God's word says, for by grace are we saved, and not by works, lest any man should boast. So I'm so grateful God saved me, and you wanna know how I got saved and so on, how God saved me, you can watch that video. So as I was saying, I don't like to label myself, when it comes down to anxiety, like I'm taking on that illness, and I don't believe it's just something physical. I've been learning also, as the Bible talks about, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against spiritual wickedness in high places, against rulers of darkness of this world, as it speaks about in which scripture is it again? It's Holy Spirit of God, please remind me as to which scripture this is from again. I have my Bible here. Let me see. It's in Ephesians 12 and 12 going to the end. Yeah? In the room. Let me check the time. 1:20 now. Sorry about that. That's my grandaunt. You're gonna hear a bit noise in the background. Please be mindful of that, because I'm not alone, and they're neighbors as well, so you might hear noise here and there. So yes, as I was saying, the Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood. So as I'm growing spiritually, as God has been showing me stuff and revealing stuff to me, especially through different men and women of God that I've been also watching here on YouTube, like Minister Kevin L.A. Ewing, I think that's his channel's name. Like, he does a lot of things pertaining to like dreams, and the spiritual world from the physical world. Like, I understand some of you might be on here are probably not Christians, or just started up in the faith, like our new converts, but I believe as Christians, as men and women of God, we grow, and when you're not growing, something is definitely wrong. I feel like there are stages, to grow as a Christian. So I've just been looking at things now from a different point of view, where you might look at us as we're crazy, but I believe in the word, and the word says we wrestle not against flesh and blood. So what that tells you, there's a different force that we wrestled with. It's not the flesh and the blood that you look at. So in terms of sometimes when you see people going through what we unhurt in the physical state as mental illness, on the spiritual, there's something behind that, and if you're believers, I think you could agree with me, especially if you're on this stage where you also see eye to eye as to what the word says. So as I said, I kind of come off tangent. You might hear me come off tangent here and there. See with me, guys. So yeah, in 2019, when I went to the job fair to sign up for that job, and it was baking related, because as you know, I love baking, I love pastries, so I wanted to have more knowledge in that field, hence me applying for that specific position in that company, right? And I got through, thanks be to God. But boy, may I tell you, I feel like I rushed it too early to work, because in that same time period before going to that job fair, I was going, as I said, through frequent panic attacks to the point where I was having trouble sleeping sometimes, because I am a girl. When I put my head down on the pillow, in a couple minutes time, your girl knock out, as they would say, like God to sleep. You understand? I wasn't somebody that had trouble with sleeping. I know people out there experience this, and from experience, it's not a nice thing at all to be able to want to sleep and you sit up a whole night, whole night till morning, and everybody run your sleep. No, so that, especially as Christian, encountering that's one too many times, and I wouldn't want to go back through that again, because it's the first time in my life I couldn't sleep for certain nights, or having trouble sleeping and going through the panic attacks where I'm just all up in my head. It's just like unnecessary fear and worry. I think it was that time I what's the word? I seek God more. You notice when you're going through something in your life where you just can't explain it, you feel like you have nobody to talk to about what you're going through, you're ashamed to share it. You, especially as believers, you find yourself more, it's just like that awakening moment, I believe, as a child of God, where I'm starting to grow spiritual. It's that pruning moment where you're starting to know God for yourself by reading your word more, sticking to more gospel or songs that that praise the Most High, and also it helps you get through that situation. If I'm making sense, it's that refining moment. Saying like when gold, is it gold? I have to go through that furnace of fire to come up bright and polished. It's that refined moment where you find yourself, you never did that read the Bible as much, you never did that sing a gospel as much, you did do all that, but it's when you go to that season where you just don't know who else to call upon, and you find yourself a call upon the Most High God, and you spend more time with Him. It's that moment your eyes start to open up to things that you were blinded to. And I think that was my awakening moment, where I eventually, when I came out of it, I stopped listening to secular music, and I'm going to do more a video on that as to why I stopped listening to secular music, and that was part of it, since I give it away, but I'm going to go more in depth if I can. And I abstain from sinful actions of mine that I used to indulge in, and it's like, it's that moment, guys, where I just feel like God was ministering in different ways to my spirit. I think it was even that season I decided not to wear wigs anymore, and I did a video on that as to why I stopped wearing it. It's just that refined moment. I find myself thinking back on it now, it's not the best, and it could also be a plan of the devil, but as they always say, God can turn around any situation, any bad situation, for the greater good. It can turn your mess into a message, a test into a testimony. It's just one of those refining moments. But anyway, stop the little preaching there. So your girl got anyways, yes guys, so to the point I had to go to the doctor, and I got what's it called, medications for that. I got Xanax. I used to get the off-brand Xanax, the alprazolam, for like anxiety to calm my nerves, but this one really knocked me out to the point where I didn't have no difficulty sleeping, but it didn't feel the same. It feels like you're just being forced to sleep. You just don't, when you take these pills, it's not nice. You don't feel like your usual self, to be honest. And I tried to brought myself in stop taking those pills. To today, I don't take no more of those pills. And if you're here now, you might hear the patois chipping since I'm Jamaican, so please bear with me. I try my best to start to talk standard English, but for here now, I haven't gone through a serious panic attack, thanks be to God, and that's a testimony of His own, thanks be to God. I'm gonna also try to do a video on that, but we're back on the topic. going to the job fair, knowing that I wasn't emotionally, physically, and mentally ready since I was going through a bad season of panic attack, of anxiety, and heart palpitation. I must mention that, like, from I left this call center job, I've been experiencing bad heart palpitation here and there. Not so bad to the day, but in the past, because of that stressful environment, it caused me to experience panic attacks where I had to go to the doctor, do EKGs, ECJs, or it go again. I don't remember, but you know what I'm talking about. The thing with them put the little sticker things to check your heart rate and all those things. Like, guys, as young as I might be, I gone through some things. And let me tell you, if I never did God, I'm going to be the year to the day. The fact that I have life just is a living testimony to know that God is still with me. Said He never leave me nor forsake me. And this is why I really want to do this channel, to do more videos like this. And who knows, it could be somebody else's story and they don't know how to get out of it, or want some, insight. But all me I tell you, guys, God is good. God is truly good. So went to the job fair, knowing I was not in the right frame of mind to be working, but I wanted to provide for my mom, who's always been my #1 supporter, and to support myself. A girl just leaving college, want to make something of her life, want to start life, but eventually, I just felt, I didn't felt, it didn't felt right. I don't know how to explain it. Going home, I felt palpitation to a point where, palpitation is like this irregular type of heartbeat. Your heart is beating boom, boom, boom. Then there's this extra beat where it's boom. And sometimes it's so, like, sometimes it's a bit hurtful depending on the severity, not the severity, but depending on it. And to this point where I was in the bus going home, and it hit me sometimes in my head. I was wondering, is my head going to be okay? I can't even explain these things, guys. As I said, sometimes these things are spiritual, and we tend to not read our Bibles to know more and gain more insight to these things. But me I tell you, I felt some pains with this thing in the past, and I was to the point I was like, no man, I can't do this at work anymore. Because for one, the work itself, guys, was stressing. No, they say nothing in life not come easy, but guys, this company is like a little fact, the part we are in, related to baking. And I tell you guys, like, the fact that you can't even drink some water when you're thirsty while doing this manual labor. I know then said people in the past did abuse the thing where you get the water from, so then put it on machinery and it kind of make the thing stop working, which is why then say the good suffer for the bad, where we couldn't get no water to drink when we're tired, so we have to go on certain. It's like the work environment itself even put me off, to why I just thought in my mind, probably this is God's way of telling me this is not for me, plus you're going through this. So get your butt out there and let this work. Oh, in here hot. Guys, I don't know if I'm making sense because I'm trying to ramble on before the minutes on this done. I have about, what did I say now? 7 minutes to record, so please bear with me. Yeah guys, so the work environment wasn't something. The work itself, people complained about it. There were some people that stayed on the work for years, some as then come then gone. The type of work environment there where certain people can't stay for long because of what they experience in the work environment. And they were strict. They were strict in certain things like I didn't like. And with me going through what I was going through, I just said, you know what, I think I'll just give up on this. Like, this probably isn't for me. Went to HR, explained everything. The woman said she was gonna call me back because I wanted to change, see if I could change to another role, but she called me and said there is no other role available. So she ended up saying she afraid, especially with this heart palpitation, since she's familiar with it and the anxiety, she would want me to drop down, God forbid, on the work. So I think it's a good idea if I just left the job, which I agreed on. I really was happy. You know, I don't know if this ever happened to you. Yes guys, my thing cut off on me, but I get more space, more time to record, so I can take my little time now talking. So, and see while Lyric Rochester, a Jamaican YouTuber, makeup artist, and so on, entrepreneur, said she's also a Christian, and she was saying something happened, and it's not my story to tell. You can check her out. As you know, if you're familiar with her, she's going through a season in her life where, you know, things aren't going well, but she's trying to hold on, press on, and she's not doing so bad now still. You know, she's speaking out and doing her thing. Anyway, she was just talking about a specific time in her life where she was with her husband, and something about when she got the opportunity to leave, just felt this peace, feeling of comfort, as if, you know, this peace, as how the Bible said, peace which passeth all understanding. No one know what she was talking about. You see, when the lady said that to me and said she not feel like some should stay on this job, kind of felt a bit bad, but aside from that, there was a bigger feeling like I was happy to leave. Like I didn't really want to be there anymore. It was that overwhelming feeling, like I'm getting sucked, as some people say, are fired, and I'm feeling happy about it, which is weird. It's like something just knew that probably if I prolonged that job, knowing how I was feeling at that time, and with the anxiety and the heart palpitation, which I felt the palpitation was more at its main peak because of the Xanax that I was taking. I feel like the Xanax somewhat made the heart palpitation a bit worse than before. I don't know why, don't ask me, it just felt like that. So, which is why I try to stop myself. You see, when I come off, I see something like that, it's the withdrawal symptom. Mentally, it's not the best feeling, but as I was saying, I felt peace. Felt sad because I was thinking about who I'm gonna let down at home, knowing that they were glad that I'm gonna get a job, and then to come on to hear what they're gonna think. But yeah guys, turn up the brightness a bit because my face kinda look different when I turn it down, so turn it up. I'm coming down to the end of this video because I don't want it to be long, probably be 20-30 minutes. Bear with me guys, because it's just, you know, it's that, yeah, sorry to tell. So my mom had an idea already, said I was going to leave because she knew my situation. As I said, she's my #1 supporter, so she understood, and she was a supportive, you know. She didn't judge me, look at me different. The only person that I guess that wasn't so I wouldn't say understandable, because I didn't really like talking to him about anxiety and all these things, because there's so many people, especially here in Jamaica, that are unaware as to anxiety on a whole. You know, people aren't familiar with what it is, what it entails, so you're gonna get very like ignorant answers from them if you explain to them. Sometimes they're not capable of reasoning. When my dad found out, he wasn't, you know, he wasn't ecstatic about it, but he was calm, somewhat calm, and tried to see with me. But I felt like I let him down. You know, that one parent you feel, or probably two in your case, you feel like you let down because of something you did, you know, and it's not like you really wanted to do it, but depending on your situation, you had to. Like I felt like, yeah, I have no other choice. When my lip is so dry, guys, please forgive me. I'm not one to wear a lot of like makeup. To be honest, because I come on the video and put on a little bit of something on my lip. Rain, what? It's a blessing. I hope you guys can hear me through the rain, because I really want to end this video here. But yeah, eventually he just had to just sit with me, and I really told him that it was the way the environment was which it was partly true, but the other reason was what I was going through. But as I said, it's not something I like to share with him, because in the past I don't feel like he really get what anxiety is all about, because they look at it and say, oh, you're too soft or this. I'm not blaming him, nor I'm trying to say nothing bad about him. It's just that when you're not really educated about a certain thing, you tend to look at things differently, or you blame the person for whatever they're going through. It's just a matter of educating yourself on certain things before talking, you know, because it can rub off or come off the wrong way to the point people won't share their stories with you, or they feel like they are being a burden to you. So I just give him the part I guess he will probably understand, the work environment part, where I just was going through some things within kind of the work environment. I don't know why there's always one or two people that seems to pick on you. You know, there were two girls. They weren't so bad in the first, especially one who helped me to show me the ropes of things, but eventually they kind of mock the way I do certain things. You know, I don't know why, but people say sometimes I have a tendency to be stush at stuff. It's not being stush, you know. It's not being stush, to be honest. I feel like it's me trying to get things perfect, so it comes off as me being stush, because me can't find myself but not stush. It's just me being, I don't want to say it, but I just like getting, you see like how you watch Monk, if you're familiar with the series that used to come on named Monk. I know him go on and him want things are perfect, card and he look like him look sushi. He's not sushi, he's just have this mental issue, I guess, where he want things in order and so on. I'm not saying I'm gone to that level, but you know, I want my things to be neat and sturdy and doing a good job to get my pay. But I knew I just leave them to that. I didn't pay, and it's not them, guys. So in conclusion, it's mainly because of my anxiety at the time, panic attack and heart palpitation, why I quit, and the work environment, because especially where I live compared to where the job was, it was so far tiring that had to it like my body just probably couldn't handle all of that. So yeah, that's why I quit. So if you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If the noise in the background of the rain is bothering you, can't do nothing about that. God work, you know, it's a blessing. So thank you so much for tuning in. And if you have ever sorry, if you have ever gone through anything whereas you left your job in 1, 2, 3 days, or did that go, you know, what were the people around you thoughts, what did they say to you, you know, what was the reason? If you can say it out loud in the comments, I want to know. Let me know. If you battle with anxiety, especially as a believer, how is that for you? I want to know. Comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Who's going to be my first subscriber, because I just put my channel here on the video. I haven't shared it on my other channel to let people know. I just want people to just come in on their own, and hopefully YouTube will send it out so it can, you know, do its thing and get noticed. And don't forget to give this video a like so YouTube can push it out to more people. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. I hope this makes sense and somebody can relate or give me their 2 cents on. So yeah, it's your girl Sasha tuning out, and see you next time. Bye guys, thank you so much for watching. Bye.